We've got to break out of black box web design. There's so much potential out there right now. There are local business owners right now that need your help, but they don't need a black box website. What I mean by black box web design is the client kind of feeds project information in one side and poof, out the other you get a website and you're the black box in the middle that sort of mysteriously implements everything. We've reached this inflection point where black box web design is basically irrelevant. I mean, isn't that what AI basically does now? You can just type in what you want and then get the result out of the other side with AI instead of you. So why are we using AI to make web designers obsolete? We should be using AI to make us better and more powerful, not obsolete and irrelevant, right? Like that's where we need to be. But in order to do that, we have to break out of black box web design because we've reached this inflection point. The inflection point is our audience, like the clients that we want to work with, have shifted into a solution unaware mindset. Like they don't realize the way that they can use their online properties to move the needle for their businesses. In fact, like if you go up to a local business owner today and you say, hey, I'd like to give you a better website, most of the time people are going to say, well, I'm fine with the website I've already got, or I'll just use my Facebook page or whatever. They're not interested in a website. And even if they are, it's for a very small, like a small update, like a content refresh or something. Like I don't normally make videos at this time. It's like 11 o'clock at night right here, but I couldn't go to sleep because I had 3 conversations with 3 different web designers today, and all of them went in this direction where we were talking about, well, what is the client, like, why does the client want to work with you? Like, what do they want you to do? And basically, everybody says, well, the client needs a rebrand, a content refresh. It's like, no, they don't. Like, that is not what they want. Like, nobody hires a web designer because they want a content refresh or a rebrand on their website. That'd be like if you go to CVS or something and buy a bottle of Tylenol because you want the bottle. It's like nobody does that, right? You buy Tylenol because you want your headache to go away. You don't do a web design refresh just because you want to refresh your website. I guarantee you that if you're able to just dig in a little bit with the client, they would reveal to you problems that are going on inside their business. In some way, the business just isn't performing at the level that they need it to, and they think that doing something on the website might help. It could be simply that their content is outdated and people are asking for services they don't offer anymore and it's causing confusion. Or maybe they have new services that they'd like to start offering, but right now it's underutilized, and so they're not generating the revenue off the new services like they need to. Or maybe they've had so much growth that they'd like to raise their prices to cover their increased overhead, and they want to use the growth as a way to justify why the prices are going up, right? Like I guarantee you there are reasons for these updates. Like, because you can just say that to the client, well, what if we just don't do, why bother? Why not just take your money and do something else with it? I guarantee you they will tell you some reasons. And it's causing so much suffering on both sides, which is why, I mean, at 11 o'clock at night, here I am making this video because I can't go to sleep. It's on my heart. I have to share this with you because the suffering is on both sides. I talk to web designers that deeply struggle to generate the revenue that they need to support themselves and their families because they're like, hey, clients just won't pay the rates. I need to charge a price that's higher than the overseas developers on Fiverr or whatever that have different conversion rates for their currencies, and they can just charge all these low rates. And how am I supposed to compete with that? Or the business owners, on the other hand, like they say, well, I don't want to spend any money on a website because it's not really going to do anything for me. I'm not going to get results, and since I'm not going to get a meaningful result out of the website, I'm not going to spend a lot of money. And since I'm not going to spend a lot of money, then the web designer doesn't get much money. It's like nobody is winning out of that. So the web designers aren't getting results, the business owners aren't getting results, everyone is losing because of black box web design, where you expect the client to say what they want, then the web designer does the best they can to make the client happy delivering what they want, and then everything falls apart after that because the client doesn't know what to ask for because of the solution unaware audience problem that we just talked about, where the client can't put the information in the black box properly anymore. There's too much going on. There's so many things. Like, for example, have you noticed that Google is losing some of the search ranking or the search engine dominance that they used to have? Like, not everyone is searching on Google as much as they used to. Other things are rising to the top, other AI engines and so forth, right? So, and that's just one small example of how to shift the overall marketing plan for a local business with regard to search. But what about building an email list, nurturing the leads, getting their Google business profile to rank better, ranking better on Google Maps, building reviews and social proof? I mean, the lead magnets and nurturing and landing page. There's so many different things that could be offered to clients, and they're not thinking about it. They're not able to tell you they're not able to feed in the information into their side of the black box. Consequently, you can't poof out what they want on the other side, right? It's just a completely different paradigm that I refer to as DoubleStack. It's the tech stack and the marketing stack coming together into one in order to generate the results that clients need. Now, I know it's not for everybody. Let me give you an example of why I feel like this is such a big deal and so important. One of my friends and clients bought a axe throwing business a couple of years ago, maybe two or 3 years ago. And when she bought the business, it was going pretty well. She didn't really have to do a whole lot. But today, with inflation and the way the economy's been lately and everything, they're just not getting the business that they used to, right? They've never really done any marketing for the 2 or 3 years that they've owned the business, but things are beginning to kind of go down. But guess what else? She's also like 28 years old, and she's got a 2 or 3 year old baby, and she just had another baby. She's like stressed out now, right? Like the business has to work. Like she really needs this to work. The revenue's not coming in. She's trying to support her family with all of this stuff, and she's stressed out. Like this is a freaking big deal. Like this means something to people. Like it's not just us as web designers that are having a hard time. These local business owners are having a hard time. That's why I am so passionate about it. That's why I'm making a video at 11 o'clock at night. This is such a big deal because there's so much opportunity where either everyone loses or everyone could be winning. It's not really, there's no real middle ground anymore because people don't need the black box web. It's a complete paradigm shift. And that's why this is such a big deal. And she's not going to tell me, hey, it sure would be great if you could make some landing pages and a lead magnet and nurture my leads and help me with my reviews and link my Google business profile back to my website in a way that's going to boost my Google Maps rank. Nobody's going to say that, right? They're relying on us for leadership. They're relying on you to lead them into a path that they otherwise wouldn't know. That's the difference between you and just a garden variety black box web designer. You're the one who's able to bring leadership as if you're almost like a doctor. You're literally probably a business doctor where you're restoring the health of someone's business by prescribing a solution that generates results for people, not by taking orders like a chef. You're not like a website chef anymore. We're now like website doctors, where we're telling people the things that they need to do rather than having them tell us what they want to have done. It's a complete mindset shift. And it's such a big deal. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's not for me. And I know it's not. It's not. This type of web design work is not for, I didn't even know if it was even for me when I first got started with this. I started with a computer science degree. I like math and physics and stuff. And I didn't do any marketing when I first started my business 20 years ago. I was writing code and building electronic medical record apps and e-commerce plugins and stuff. I didn't realize that I also really liked the marketing. But then when I got into it and I realized that, well, let me say this. I'm not really what I would consider to be a people person. I don't know. Do you feel like this is true about you? I don't like to go into large crowds and schmooze around with people all the time. Frankly, I find that to be kind of exhausting. And I don't really like to do it. I wouldn't say that I'm shy. I don't feel nervous about going into groups of people. I just don't find it to be very interesting to have lots of thin, small talk conversations with everybody all the time. But I do think of myself as a person. I really love people and I want to see good things happen to them. And I like to get to know people and to communicate on kind of that one-on-one level and help and love and support people. And that's why I'm so passionate about what we're talking about right now, because that's what people need. People need you to come along and listen to what's going on in their business so you can prescribe a solution to solve their problems. And I know a lot of people, maybe even you included, if you live in in an area where you feel like the people that are around you, in your local community or something, they just couldn't afford to possibly hire you. It's too expensive for them. Nobody has any revenue. Nobody has any money. That's not quite accurate. Let me tell you what I mean by this. If you go out there and say, well, I want to sell you a $10,000 website or some big number, a lot of business owners are going to be like, well, even if I wanted to buy it, I couldn't. I don't have $10,000. Or even $5,000. That might be too much. But I like to have an entry-level package. I'll have multiple tiers, like a value ladder that people can ascend over time. but I want to make sure that my entry-level package is affordable, is like the price is low enough for any business owner to jump on to the first step of the ladder. Because once they start working with me, then I can help them generate more leads and more revenue, and they can bump up to the next ladder and the next step in the ladder and so on until they eventually get to the top. Even if they can't start at the top, they can at least work their way up to it. So what I'm doing by lowering the price is I'm not lowering the results. I'm still saying, well, eventually you'll get to the top and you'll have all the things that you need. But even if you start lower down, you can work your way up. So what I'm doing is I'm stretching the timeline to the ultimate success of the top of the ladder. I'm not watering down all the results to the point where you're not going to get any results at all. Like, for example, I would never just do a content refresh for a client or a rebranding project for a client, because I know that if I rebrand the website, nothing's going to happen. They're just going to have a better looking website that nobody's looking at, right? It takes more than that. Like, it takes some degree of traffic, some degree of lead generation from the traffic, and some degree of nurturing the leads into clients so that you actually make a difference for people. But it could be something as simple as a $500 website and a $375 per month marketing package on the other side of it. That's our entry-level package. The $500 covers basically a 1-page, maybe a 3-page website, like not very many pages on the website, but it focuses primarily on ranking a Google business profile for the sake of boosting your Google Maps ranking. It's basically our Google Maps focused package. And we charge $375 per month to do the marketing and the hosting and all of the stuff. And so that's so $375 per month. You're telling me you can't afford $375? That's $12.50 per day. That's less than lunch, right? So if your business is feeding you your annual living and you can't feed it lunch, there's something wrong with that. So it's not that the price is unaffordable. And I think that's a really interesting realization. It's not that the client couldn't pay $12.50 per day. It's that they don't think it's the best use of their money because of the black box web design. They're thinking, I don't know what to say on the website. Even if I did know what to say, it probably wouldn't generate any results. So I'm not willing to invest much money in my website because I don't think much is going to happen from it. That's the problem. And so if we flip the script and we come with authority and leadership and say, these are the things that we can do to actually generate results for you, and that's why you make more money, everyone can afford the $375 plus the $500 set. That's a $5,000 per year package. Even at that small price point, that you generate $5,000 annually at that price point. And so let's say, well, how do you keep somebody paying you $375 per month? Well, I've been doing this now for 20 years, and I've realized that if I can at least double the revenue so if somebody's paying me $375 and I can make them like $750 or more, then I'm not going to get fired. Like, they're going to keep working. They're doubling their money. They're getting at least a 2x return on their revenue, on their marketing spend with me. And so, okay, so $375, if I can generate $750, $800 a month, awesome. So what does that mean? Well, literally today, my bathroom faucet was leaking earlier today, and I look up what a plumber is going to cost to come out and replace the faucet. Just one visit is $400 to come to my house to replace one faucet. And that doesn't even include the price of the faucet. That's just to come over and do the stuff. So if I could help a plumber get like 2 or 3 clients per month, right? That's like one every other week, simply because I can help their Google Maps, ranking go up, maybe expand the radius of where they show up on maps for people for the local searches and stuff. And that results in one new customer like every other week. They'll be doubling their money with me at this price point. And so if they're doubling their money, they'll stay with you forever. And then once that happens, like maybe they get a client a week because of you. And then they can take that extra revenue, add it into the next level of your offer, and boom, now they're in the mid-tier of your solution. And then boom, after that, they can go up to the high end. So you can work people up as long as they can get on that first rung of the ladder. Which is huge, right? That's how and if you can't, like, let's say, I don't know if I can get 2 clients per month for my client. That's the problem with black box web design. The client is looking at their website and thinking, well, I don't think I'm even going to get 2 clients. I'm not even going to put $375 per month into it because I think I'll get 0 clients. And now I'm just sinking money into it. And that's why this whole double stack concept of the marketing stack and the tech stack coming together so you can actually move the needle for the client is such a huge thing. So if you're feeling like this is the right fit for you, you can call me and talk to me if you feel like if you want to work together on this. I literally have a guarantee in DoubleStack that if we're working together, you will make more money in the program than you invested in it. So if you're just interested in trying it out, just head over to doublestack.net/call. You can book a breakthrough session with me. We'll get on the phone, talk about, or probably do it over Zoom. And you actually do it with me. I take all my own calls. I don't pass it off to anybody else. And we can see if this is going to be the right fit for you. It might not be, right? It might not have been the right fit for me because I was really into math and science and physics and all that stuff. I hadn't had a lot of exposure to the marketing side. But when I got into it, I realized that I was really passionate about it and actually really quite good at it. I was able to start leveraging some of my skills from songwriting and so forth to help with ad writing. It's really opened the door. So head over to doublestack.net/call. You can schedule a call with me. We'll get on the phone for maybe 45 minutes and you can just tell me what's going on in your business, what's performing at the level what's not performing at the level that you want, what would be the level that you want, and we can just see if this is going to be the right fit. And I can't guarantee that DoubleStack is going to solve all of your problems, but I can guarantee that it'll probably be one of the most insightful 45 minutes you've ever spent talking about your business, and then you can see what the right path forward is for you. So check that out. It's doublestack.net/call. In the meantime, you might be thinking, all right, I like the concept of local business marketing. I like the idea of breaking out of black box web design and actually offering some kind of a solution for people. But who would this solution be for? Like what would be a good target audience or a good niche? And I've spent a ton of time thinking about this over the last few years. And the bottom line is, check out this video and just pick this one right here. This is the best niche for right now. Check out this video and see what you think, or just give me a call at doublestack.net/call and we'll figure it out for you. Either way, I'll just talk to you in just a minute.